here is our next project. It's a 2003 Ultra Classic. It came in pieces, in boxes. Someone else had started on it and stripped a lot of good parts off the bike. Now we've got to go through with a fine-tooth comb and put the brand new motor in it, go through the transmission, make sure everything's right. We started on this one already, put a new tire on it, new rear wheel bearings, swing arm bushings, we replaced them, and yeah, today we're going to try and get the transmission set in here, which we also redid already. New gasket seals, we put some good shift forks back in it, and then we're going to try and set the transmission in on a new motor mount and go from there. This will be a fun project. You guys get to watch along as we finish this bike up. Here you can see all the parts we've got. Here's a brand new 110 motor. New cycle electric charging system. Brand new Thundermax EFI module with O2 sensors to make the bike run properly. And we'll get going through all these parts, see what we got. Get your transmission in there. You want to take this right cleave block off. Take your swing arm rubber out with the swing arm pivot. It's nice to keep a ratchet strap underneath the swing arm to help you keep everything lined up. Now we can get our transmission set in there. When you put your pivot axle back in, you want to make sure you put a little anti-seize on there. Whoever's working on this thing in the future will thank you. You want to make sure that swing arm pivot bolt comes all the way through the metal plate and that rubber cleave block. And when you put your spacer back on, make sure it goes on with the right way so it fits up over that shaft. And then you put your nut on with some Loctite, tighten it all up. Mounting block on there on the right side. You see that there's a little tip. It fits into that rubber cleave block. Make sure that lines up on both sides when you tighten this up. In this case, when we know nothing about the bike, you do not want to tighten up this front engine mount because we're going to have to do a wheel alignment on the bike. So we're going to leave our middle bolt here loose, and we're going to leave our two bolts going into the frame loose. Not loose, but just so that there's enough room that these mounts can all move in and out and side to side. We're going to do a wheel alignment before we tighten everything up. Get ready to throw the motor in. Make sure you got a strap underneath your transmission oil pan here over the frame to hold it level. There is no right way to pick up the motor and set it in. So just pick it up and put it in there. Once you got your engine set on the dowels on the bottom here and on the mount on the front, personally I like to put Loctite on everything. Put some Loctite on your bolts, crank them in there, all four of them. Front engine bolts, same thing. You can tighten up the bolts from the motor into the plate, but not the mount bolts yet. All right, now I'm going to show you guys how to do a quick hillbilly wheel alignment, which is actually how the book, even for 04, says how to do it. First, you want to make sure that your distance from your center of your rear axle to the center of your swing arm pivot is exactly the same. If you got the newer style swing arm with the offset washer here, you're going to be the same anyways. You need a couple blocks of wood, 2x4s, and a long straight edge. Here I've got an aluminum piece of 1 by 2 inch. I'm going to lay that against your rear tire and make sure it's flat along the edge here, and it's straight along the edge of the front tire. Then what you're going to do, you can have 2 of these pieces or 1, it don't matter, and you're going to check both sides and to see if that'll tell you how far your rear wheel is out of straight. If that distance from your straight edge to your wheel on the front is not the same on both sides, this is how you're going to adjust it. you're going to loosen this lock nut and this lock nut and screw this center piece of thread rod in or out to move your motor transmission all one piece. You're gonna move it over left or right by adjusting this piece of thread rod until you have the same distance on your straight edge on the left and the right side of your front wheel. Once you're happy that your alignment is straight, front and rear, then you're gonna hold this center thread rod and tighten up the jam nuts and check it one more time. You see here, this is your top engine mount. It's also adjustable right here, like your front lower. This piece goes right here. We're gonna bolt it up to the head. Then I'm gonna show you how to make sure that the top of your motor, that your wheels are both in line and straight in the bike. Usually, once you've done your front wheel alignment, you got your front engine mount tightened up and your swing arm bolt tightened up. If this bolt goes through nice and easy and just floats through, your wheels are probably going to be straight. But if they're not, you're going to want to set up straight edge across these two bars here where your frame is and make sure it's level. And then take your level and go across your disc here and make sure that your disc isn't warped. But if this is level to the same as here, then you can tighten up that top engine mold. If not, you can once again adjust it right here, top of the motor to the right or to the left to make your wheels both level. Now that you've got the engine in here, left to right, straight, vertically, both wheels are vertically in line, you can take this mount, tighten up your lock nuts, and take this mount again. We're gonna have to have it out anyways to install our throttle body, but at least now we know our wheel alignment is done and we can bolt this in later on and not worry about it. All right, now what we're gonna do is put our 50 amp cycle electric stator and voltage regulator in. This is all a really good quality US made product. You put your new screws in for your stator. You want to make sure they have some Loctite on them. These ones come with Loctite already on them. After you put all 4 screws in, you want to torque them to about 65 or 70 inch-pounds. Alright guys, thanks for watching day 1 of putting this 110 motor into this 2003 Ultra Classic. Tomorrow we're gonna continue putting the stator and voltage regulator in, put our primary all together and start putting intake on and stuff. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video, share it. Please subscribe to my channel because that really helps a fella out. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow.